your brand new single, Together, Whatever, for the very first time on our show in the next few minutes. So I just wanted to say
nice.
Congratulations on the brand new single, and congratulations on the brand new album as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. So tell our listeners a little bit about what they can expect to hear on this track and what it's all about.
The song is kind of a tribute to our past 20 years, almost. We've been around for a long time now, and we've been through a lot. A lot of shit, and a lot of good things too. So in the music video, we're kind of paying tribute to all eras of the band. You know, we've had 4 different singers throughout our career, and they're all in the video.
Yeah.
And it's just a classic Crashdiet song, I would say. Yeah.
You mentioned about some of the things that's happened in the band's past that you've had to overcome. How difficult has it been at times to overcome those things and concentrate on the good times that the band has had as well?
We've always we never stopped to think. We just moved on, and then all the tragic stuff has kind of caught up with us, you know. So it's kind of like the last 10 years. You realize what a career we've had.
Yeah.
You know. So we're grateful for our career, but I must say that we might have had a hard time focusing on the good stuff. So at some points, you know, because there's a lot of bad stuff that's happened. But I mean, if we look at the good stuff, there's a lot of good stuff that's happened too.
Yeah. But there has
20 years, a lot can happen.
there has to be a strength there, though, within you guys, because I've been doing music journalism now for nearly 25 years, and I've seen so many bands come and go, and a lot of those bands that have gone have been through less than what you guys have ever been through, and they haven't survived it. So there must be a strength within you guys to have overcome what you've overcome.
It's like we have become tighter personally. You know, every crisis have made us bond better.
Yeah,
I think, and that has helped because we have kind of been forced to get together because you need that, and you need someone to talk to about all the shit.
Yeah.
So we kind of depend on each other.
Yeah.
And then we just reboot the whole thing and I mean, go back. You know, every time something happens, like we need to change the look, whatever. It's like we have to start from scratch almost 4 times. So
focusing
we're getting used to it.
Yeah. So focusing on a good time, the new album that's coming out. Tell us a little bit about the new album and what your fans are going to be able to hear on this album, and also what you guys as a band were trying to achieve with this album.
Yeah, it's well, obviously we've had a lot more time to be able to write music due to the pandemic. If you've heard about that.
Yep.
So just more time to focus on our craft and the album is very well produced. The sonics are great, but it sounds like Crashdiet, that the Crashdiet that everybody's used to. But it's always like some new direction within the record.
Yeah.
Within every new album, it's kind of like a new direction going on. And I think you can hear it's a bit more melodic than the last album, Rust. And more hit songs, if I might say.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, this feels like an album where any of the tracks could be a single. Is that something that you guys were aware of when you were putting it together?
We always think that way, that it needs to be like 10 or 11 singles. Yeah. We've always thought that way. We never have any fillers.
Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about what it was like being in Sweden during the pandemic, because I'm talking to you now from a city that was the most locked down city in the world during the pandemic. I think we were shut down for 265 days or something over 2 years.
Oh, wow.
What was it like for you being in Sweden, though, and not being able to get out and tour when you guys had a lot more freedom than a lot of other countries had?
Yeah. Well, apart from not being able to tour or do live shows, our restrictions were not that tough, actually. Many things went on as usual. It was just that we couldn't play.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because we couldn't book live shows, we didn't rehearse that much.
Yeah.
Because it was like, why?
Yeah.
But yeah, it must have been hell to be been totally locked down. And
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Well, for most of those lockdowns, we weren't allowed any further than 5 kilometers from our house. You were pretty much only allowed out to go to the supermarket and 1 hour of exercise a day. So, yeah, it was pretty full on. Yeah. But you mentioned, you mentioned before though about that gave you guys longer to work on the album itself. How did that change your writing process at all?
I guess the album was written in two blocks. I think we started pretty early in the pandemic. We wanted to record the album in Stockholm, in our hometown, and it became pretty scattered because we couldn't focus. Too many distractions in our hometown. Friends and family and work and
all that. Bullshit.
Yeah. So we finally just went to Gothenburg, actually, to another city, and recorded the whole album in a few weeks, where we could focus on just music and nothing else.
Awesome. So, how does it feel now that you're able to get out and do shows again? Because I know that you guys have got a big tour coming up. How does it feel being able to get back out there and do shows?
It's unreal.
Yeah.
We can't really believe it yet, until we're
there.
Until I sit in that tour bus, or actually when I stand on stage, I won't believe it until I'm on stage.
Yeah. Do you think you'll get emotional? Because I know a lot of bands here, people have talked about bursting into tears when they've walked out to sing the first song.
Probably cry like babies.
On the first show,
And on the intro.
Yeah. Just tears all over the place.
Yeah. And how do you
Who
think
knows?
how do you think these new tracks are going to go live? Because this sounds to me like an album that you want to hear live. So how do you think they'll go live?
I hope they go well.
I'm pretty sure they will go well live, you know. And it's always fun to play the new songs, and I think you can see that, like on stage, on the band, you know. It's always a little bit more fun to play the new songs than the old songs. Now we haven't played the old songs in a long while, so
yeah, that's true.
it's gonna be mixed feelings. But I mean, the new songs are gonna go along great live. They're pretty much made to play live.
Yeah. Yep. Now, I'm not sure if we're allowed to announce this or not yet, but one of my favourite tracks on the album was Powerline, that has a very, very special guest. And in case I'm not allowed to say who that guest is, can you tell us how you went about getting that guest and what they were like to work with?
I think it's pretty official.
Yeah,
it's all over the. We haven't really announced it, but it's there on the set list of the album.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Steel Panther, we know that they are Crashdiet fans, and they mentioned us a lot of times. I've met them once, and they were really cool. So we just figured, like, we know you love us. So I think Gabriel just contacted Michael Starr from Steel Panther.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, sure, man, I can do it. So we just sent him the backing track, and he laid down the vocals in his California studio. So that's how it went down.
Awesome. Well, it sounds absolutely fantastic. And I guess the big question that a lot of your Aussie fans are going to be asking now is there any chance that you guys might head down under at some stage?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we've been trying to come over there for past 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah.
Or 3.
But the pandemic came in the way. And now we're just waiting for the new dates.
Yeah, we're supposed to play there with Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah.
But it was postponed
2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
2 times.
So we're just waiting for new dates and see what happens.
Awesome.
It's been 10 years since we've been over there, so it's definitely time.
Definitely. Well, we definitely cannot wait to see you guys on stage here. But for right now, we are going to play Together Whatever for the very first time on our show. So what would you like to say to all of the Aussies out there before they take a listen to this track, but also before they go out and grab the album in a little while as well?
Have a nice, light a candle, get on your couch and crack a beer and have a sip, and then put on the record.